Good afternoon. I'm so pleased to join you for the Graduate School of Biomedical Sciences 2020 Recognition Ceremony, which is one of the featured events associated with our annual Convocation Week, marking the start of a new academic year. As we all know, the ongoing presence, persistence, and pervasiveness of the SARS-CoV-2 pandemic continues to impact how we live, work, learn, interact, and engage. While Provost Flott, Dean Lane, and I, and the leadership and faculty of the GSBS would love nothing more than to be able to join all of you in the Sherman Center auditorium to properly acknowledge and celebrate this important milestone event, which is a rite of passage along your academic journey. We must continue to remain safe and resolute in our commitment to slow the spread of this insidious pathogen. And so we adapt, evolve, and persevere, despite the uncertainties and challenges attendant to our present circumstances. Although dark clouds persist overhead, each of you represents rays of hope and streaks of promise. Now more than ever, we need fact, not fiction. We need hope, not hate. We need science, not sensationalism. We need each and every one of you to harness the raw power of your intellect and ingenuity, to lean on your compassion and commitment, and to leverage your passions and patience to generate new knowledge, to bring hope to the human condition, and to make a difference for our world. You have the great fortune of being part of a singular academic environment, distinguished by a collaborative spirit, dynamic, interdisciplinary, and cutting-edge science, and a world-class faculty who are as passionate, if not more, about your education and training as they are about their own research programs and careers. Dean Lane and the faculty and staff of the GSBS believe in you, and they're invested in your success. As you now make the transition to your thesis projects, you'll have the opportunity and the privilege to learn from and work alongside some of the most talented scientific minds, committed mentors, and inspiring role models that exist anywhere. Your PIs and mentors will nurture, encourage, support, and guide you. Like our institution, they're here for you now and always. They will ensure that you are prepared and poised to tackle the world's most vexing scientific questions and problems, from protecting us from the SARS-CoV-2 virus to understanding and eliminating the deadly health inequities that this pandemic has tragically illuminated. Our confidence in you, in your compassion, and in your scientific abilities both reflects and confirms the confidence we have in our faculty, who are the stewards of your GSBS education. As you reflect on where you have been, and perhaps more importantly on where you're going, I hope that you'll appreciate that you're part of a special school within a special institution at a very special moment. In closing, please accept our appreciation for the enrichment and enhancement you bring to our educational community and thriving research enterprise. We look forward to your continued accomplishments, and we wish you the best of luck as you transition to this exciting new chapter in your professional and personal journeys. Congratulations.
Good afternoon, Chancellor Collins, Provost Flott, faculty, staff, students, and guests. It's my pleasure to welcome you today to honor our newest GSBS doctoral candidates and to celebrate their successful completion of the qualifying exam. This is the essential milestone that our community has chosen to celebrate, as it marks the successful transition from student to scholar. We're also celebrating our community, as shepherding 56 students through the exam requires the effort of many faculty, staff, fellow students, family, friends, pets, and followers on Twitter and Instagram. We thank you for your contribution to the accomplishments of our honorees today. Candidates, I also want to acknowledge the special circumstances under which you endured and ultimately passed this milestone. As you recall, we were approaching the height of QE season when the governor issued a stay-at-home advisory for the Commonwealth, and in response, the institution reduced the on-site workforce presence. We immediately moved dissertation defenses and track meetings to the remote format, but initially we hesitated to do so for the qualifying exam. Many faculty members worried that the stress and anxiety around the proposal defense portion of the exam, which is always high, would be further enhanced by the remote format, and that we ourselves didn't have enough experience administering such a high-stakes exam to anticipate and prevent disasters. We thought we would wait it out for a month or two until things returned to normal. And we would do it like we always did. But when it became clear that we would be operating differently for a longer time, a group of us that included the curriculum committee, the general examiners, our IT team, and Mindy Donovan, leading the staff from her dining room table, pulled together to adapt the exam format and create guidelines and best practices. And you, our newest candidates, completed your exams in record time. As many of you know, GSBS tradition holds that the newest doctoral candidates are gifted an engraved laser pointer and a box of business cards. And every year we're asked two questions. What's with the laser pointer? And why not the lab coat? The symbolic value of the laser pointer derives from its use in one of the essential components of scholarship, namely the dissemination of knowledge. From group meetings to international conferences and everything in between, presenting new knowledge to the community of scholars is critical to the advancement of science. It's something that unites all scholars, regardless of subfield or discipline, and independent of ultimate career aspirations. Earning a doctoral degree requires that candidates create new knowledge and new ideas and present these ideas to the community for evaluation. And while the culture of business card exchange varies with field and venue, the cards themselves are an explicit symbol of your identity as emerging scholars and your affiliation with one of the best biomedical research institutions in the world. But why not a lab coat? And the answer is very simple. We don't all work in the lab. So the lab coat is not an inclusive symbol for our community. For some of us, the scientific contributions take a different form than wet lab experimentation. And even for the majority in our research community, where experimental science is the foundation, the bench is not the only place where important scientific work is done. We all had an involuntary lesson in the importance of work done outside the laboratory this spring. And even now, as those of you who work in labs are back on site, the distancing requirements and safety standards that we will be adhering to for the foreseeable future are profoundly changing the culture of scientific work. Many of these changes are no doubt experienced as stressful and even negative. Reduced time in the lab means reduced margin for error. Reduced on-site density means fewer of those unplanned meetings in the corridors and break rooms that add insight to your science and joy to your day. The looming possibility of another disruption, like the one we just experienced, adds further uncertainty to your timeline and makes you reluctant to embark in long-term experimental work. But some of the changes hold the promise of bringing improvements. You have and will continue to be better at planning, at working efficiently, and at recovering quickly. Reduced time in the lab has forced us all to appreciate the value of scientific work done outside the lab. We've been more intentional about communication and collaboration, and we've been more innovative in fostering inclusion and connection. And we're no longer allowed to drag ourselves into the lab when we are sick and to wear our suffering like a badge of honor. And in the scientific community more broadly, we see signs of hopeful change in the form of the more open communication and collaboration that this crisis demands. Right now, more than half of all work on SARS-CoV-2 is documented in preprints. As of 2 months ago, there were 18,000 preprints on this subject. We've seen more sharing of data on open access platforms and on social media. We've watched ideas emerge and be vetted in real time. And we've observed the careful advancement and fortification of good ideas and the swift demise of bad ideas before our very eyes. Not all of us are working directly on understanding or mitigating this pandemic, but this foundational shift in the manner and the pace at which scientific information is shared, validated, and ultimately established as scientific fact will reverberate in all areas of investigation. And who knows? Yours could be highly relevant to solving the next big multifaceted problem that disrupts our lives. But greater access to nascent scientific information also places greater responsibilities on us as scientists, as scientific scholars. We must remain aware, engaged, and always acting in good faith as critical and ethical reviewers. We have an obligation to use our publicly funded scientific training and our unique skills to help the community and the greater public navigate this vast amount of information that we are producing. We must nurture and safeguard this emerging accessibility to prevent these platforms from being abused by those who wish to spread misinformation. The public is trusting us to manage this. If you consume U.S. news at all, you may be surprised to learn that public trust in medical science is very high. And while there is an unfortunate partisan tilt in this trust, a recent New York Times Siena College poll shows that majorities across the political spectrum trust scientists and public health experts. A survey conducted by the Pew Research Center in May of 2020 shows that trust in medical scientists has actually grown since the coronavirus outbreak was first felt here in the US. And at a time when mistrust in institutions, and unfortunately and undeservedly in some other scientific disciplines, continues to erode, we in biomedical science must see this trust as a sacred privilege that we cannot take for granted, nor can we assume will endure without active stewardship on our part. So I ask you to accept this responsibility with humility and appreciation. Commit yourselves to continued learning, critical evaluation of information, generous listening to the diversity of voices in our global community, and a relentless pursuit of the truth. And remember that it is your public obligation not only to add content to the body of scientific knowledge, but like the laser pointers that bear your name, that we will somehow and in a socially distanced manner be gifting to you, you must illuminate. You must bring focus, direction, and clarity to the vast landscape that we are all collectively navigating. Congratulations. Thank you.
Emily Agnello, elucidating the structural and mechanistic features of a thermophilic bacteriophage. Adediwura Arowosegbe, examining the contribution of beta cell expression of MHC class II to virus-induced type 1 diabetes. Ayca Bagci, understanding the piRNA biogenesis of lepidopteran ovarian germ cells. Alexander Baier, effects of nucleosome conformational isomers and post-translational histone modifications on chromatin remodeling. Nathan Bamidele, chemical modification and conjugation of CRISPR-Cas9 guide RNA for enhanced CNS delivery. Kasturi Biswas, an in vivo model of oxidative stress regulation at the neuromuscular junction. Amanda Chan, the role of interferon regulatory factor 2 on regulating cell death and chemotherapeutic drug sensitivity in tumors. Jane Evelyn Chupran, overcoming immunotherapy resistance in pancreatic ductal adenocarcinoma. Luke Daly, investigating the role of chronic neuroinflammation in the poly-GR mouse model of frontotemporal dementia. Yannicka Dudet-Ixo, investigating the activation mechanism of SARM1 during axon degeneration. Minqi Dong, investigating effects of itaconate and derivative on C-gas sting-mediated type 1 interferon production and type 1 interferonopathy. Dr. Oluwabumi Imidio, a mixed methods study of psychosocial distress screening in newly diagnosed lung cancer patients. Jill Gallagher, adeno-associated viral gene therapy for a bovine model of maple syrup urine disease. Xavier Gonzalez, define neuronal mechanisms that regulate intestinal epithelial cell innate immune response. Khusali Gupta, translating dosage compensation to trisomy 21 in vivo in a Down syndrome mouse model. Mohona Gupta, role of INPP5E and RAB35 in the pathogenesis of RPGR-mediated X-linked retinitis pigmentosa. John Haley, elucidating the role of hepatic mTORC2 as a key regulator of carbohydrate metabolism in non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. Adam Hedger, structure-based design of potent and selective chemically modified oligonucleotide inhibitors against ApoBec3 enzymes. Samuel Hildebrand, the impact of siRNA nucleotide modification patterns on AGO2 loading and risk kinetics. Bao Ho, investigating the regulation and role of a long non-coding RNA, CR43411, within the context of innate immunity and reproduction. Wenjia Huang, the inhibitory mechanism of inosine 5' monophosphate dehydrogenase during axon regeneration in C. elegans. Erica Katz, investigating how regulatory T cells protect melanocytes from effector T cell driven destruction in vitiligo. Sookyung Kim, modulation of mitochondrial biogenesis by integrated stress response. Denis Lafontaine, stability of the folded genome. Jacob Landick, investigating the mechanism and inhibition of a bacterial clamp loader. Eric Larson, investigating the impact of trisomy 21 on human neural cell development and function using an iPSC system for trisomy silencing. Heather Leonard can exercise attenuate social defects seen in a mouse model of frontotemporal dementia. Chrono Lee, the pathology and immunology of post-influenza aspergillosis. Silviana Lee, defining the role of DNA replication gaps in Fanconi anemia. Sun-Young Lim, the roles of essential host factors for SARS-CoV-2 infection. Xingchen Liu, investigating the mechanism of the eukaryotic sliding clamp loader. Michael Luna, investigating the factors that influence the rate of homopolymer variation in Mycobacterium tuberculosis. Hannah Joy MacMillan, consequences of spliceosome mutations on splicing efficiency in cancer. Kyounghee Min, the role of liver monocarboxylate transporter 1 in non-alcoholic fatty liver disease progression. Katherine Mocarski, transcriptomics and the role of MS4As in amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. Michelle Mosqueda, investigate how ALS-linked mutations affect the dynamics and function of profilin 1 in actin polymerization. Dimpi Mukhopadhyay, the calcium channel TRPC6 maintains self-renewal in the cancer stem cell population. Catherine Nagawa, smoking cessation in persons with mental health conditions, exploring the role of family and friends. Mohamad Nasrallah, investigating the role of FMRP in synaptic plasticity. Lauren O'Connor, protecting the nervous system through diet. Sabine Pallat, the impact of NLRP3 downstream effector molecules IL-1 beta, IL-18, and GSDMD on Alzheimer's disease. Karthikeyan Ponnienselvan, development of the dual prime editor approach for creating precise deletions and insertions. Tasfia Rakib, role of alveolar macrophages and erythrocytosis in regulation of Mycobacterium tuberculosis pathogenesis. Samantha Sarli, advanced oligonucleotide therapeutics for glioblastoma. Shuo Shan, integrative analysis of DNA methylation at regulatory elements of human lymphoid cells. Anya Song, investigating the regulation between neuroinflammation and autophagy in microglia. Wendy Tan, investigating secondary siRNA-dependent and independent mechanisms of piRNA silencing in C. elegans. Leslie Torres Ulloa, RNA processing and the kinetic regulation of circadian gene expression. Kaitlyn Valla, designing a splice-switching antisense oligonucleotide drug to target noisy mRNA isoforms for the treatment of SLC6A1 haploinsufficiency disorders. Christofer Welsh, investigation into ARF 1.1 activity during membrane stress. Tianyi Ye, identifying epigenetic regulators modulating WRN expression in colorectal cancer with microsatellite instability. Han Zhang, developing Neisseria meningitis Cas9 base editors for therapeutic applications.
Let me add my congratulations to all of you who have achieved the huge milestone of passing your qualifying exam this year. To say that this is an extraordinary time has become almost a cliche. Obviously, the COVID-19 pandemic has upended all of society, and we all have had to learn about Zoom and masking and social distancing. It has upended science to an even greater degree. I just did a quick PubMed search and found 52,736 indexed publications with either COVID-19 or SARS-CoV-2. This from a disease that did not exist in humans at all until late November of last year. You probably know the other statistics. Nearly 28 million confirmed cases globally, more than 900,000 global deaths, and the U.S. suffering worse than any other nation with over 6.3 million confirmed cases and 190,000 deaths. And much of the scientific community has turned on a dime to focus its efforts on understanding the virus and its spread and to devise ways to prevent it or to treat it, hence the 53,000 publications. This has been a time that has reminded all of us of the importance of science, the importance of a shared, testable, observable reality. I told your predecessors last year that we need them as scientists. It was true last year, but it is even more true this year. Your lab PIs need you. Over the course of the years in your dissertation research, there will be a process of give and take. Initially, your efforts will require more input from the PI, more advice, more direction, and more patience on the part of the PI. By the time you're ready to defend your thesis, however, you will be giving back every bit as much as you're receiving, not just in the form of work, actual labor, but in the form of ideas, enthusiasm, excitement, successes in the lab, disappointment at the lab's failures. In short, we need your vitality. But at some point, you will graduate with your degree. At that point, we as a society really need you. We need you to be our next generation of biomedical scientists, whether in academic, medicine, in other parts of academia, in biopharma, in government, in finance, in patent law, or in any of the other myriad of careers that you may pursue. And finally, and most importantly, we need you as citizens. We need people like you within our communities and our broader society who have made a fundamental commitment to accept the truths that science reveals about objective physical realities. In the topsy-turvy political world of today, far too many of the very public voices in our government and our society deny objective facts, whether they be about COVID-19 or climate change or racial and gender inequities. The loudest and most vitriolic voices seem at times to be the most heard. The only way to combat that is not with counter-vitriol, but with the mental discipline and commitment to embrace the objectively observable reality. That is the essence of your commitment to science, to follow the data, to commit to the truth that the data reveals, no matter where it may lead you. The truth, it is said, will set you free. We will need you and those like you to keep our society free. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of this celebration.
Hey everyone, passing your qualifying exam is such a huge milestone in your graduate career, and we are so proud of you. Congratulations from all of us in the GSBS office. Yay!
You've made it over another hurdle.
Congrats on passing your quals.
From your GSBS librarians.
We're proud of you. Keep going. Cheers.
Cheers.
Congratulations and celebrations.
Hi everyone. For those of you who don't know who I am, I'm Joe MacMillan. I'm one of your elected co-presidents for our Graduate Student Body Council, and I wanted to congratulate you guys on passing your QEs. As someone who just did it about a year ago, I still remember the pains of my own QE, and I can't imagine having done it during a pandemic, so you guys are extra extraordinary for doing it. Everyone on the council is so proud of all of you guys. Everyone here at UMass is so proud of you guys. And to my lab mates, Jingshen, Emily, and Jacob, good job. You guys rocked it. Good job to your whole class, and keep smiling, guys.
Congratulations, Erica, on passing your qualifying exam. That's a huge milestone and a big accomplishment. Now I can't wait to work with you and discover some really exciting things. And ultimately, your thesis defense. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Erica.
Mohona, she was shy, scared, and I wasn't sure if she would even qualify to take the qualifier.
But Dr. Kana, I think she's no longer shy, but is annoying. To be fair, she has somehow qualified her qualifier.
I think Mohona brings a lot of fun.
But no food.
Or coffee.
Yeah, she's hardworking and ready to finish her PhD thesis work in 6 months with a Nobel Prize. You think we can do it?
I can help.
I can.
Me too.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Congratulations, Erica!
Congratulations from me and Kai!
Hey Sam, congratulations. Well done.
Congratulations, Sam.
Congratulations, Sam, on passing your QE. Job well done.
Yay! We are so happy for you. You leveled up.
Congratulations, Sam.
Congrats, Sam.
Hey, Sam, congratulations for passing your QE. Here's Hira.
Congratulations.
Here's Dimas.
Congrats, Sam. Good job.
Here's Nikki.
Congratulations.
Ken.
Congratulations, Sam.
Hi Sam, congratulations on your commencement. Very proud of you. Let's make this happen, and I'm making sure that your PhD will earn another Chancellor Award.
Hi! Congratulations, Adam, Sam, and Kaitlyn. Good luck, guys!
Adam, Kaitlyn, and Sam, congratulations for passing your QE.
Congratulations to Adam, Sam, and Kaitlyn on passing your QE. Woo!
Hey guys, you did a good job. Congrats.
3 cheers for Adam, Sam, and Kaitlyn. Hip hip hooray!
Adam, Sam, Kaitlyn, congratulations.
Congratulations, Kaitlyn, Adam, and Sam.
Adam, Kaitlyn, and Sam, congratulations.
Adam, Sam, Kaitlyn, congratulations, you guys. Well deserved. You qualified under some really unique and challenging circumstances. And I'm just really delighted that we get to work together. I'm delighted that we get to dig into thesis research now for the next few years. So enjoy this celebration. Congratulations again.
Congratulations! Wenjia!
Congratulations, everyone.
On the corner. Okay. Let's go. Thank you.
Congratulations, everybody.
Thank you.